And it's time for another matchup in the quarterfinal, the second quarterfinal of the Cheap Lager Championship. Let's have a look at the table. So here is the quarterfinals, the revised quarterfinals of the table. And in the first quarterfinal, the Crown just eased its way past the Cause. Neither beer was particularly great, but the Cause was just flavourless rubbish, basically. The Crown was a lager that tasted of lager. That's all I can say about the Crown, really. It was alright. It was refreshing enough. It wasn't too gassy. It was okay. Now, here we are with the next matchup. We've got the second quarterfinal, and that is going to be between the Galahad and the Brewdog Cold Beer Lager. Now, moving forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these beers not too cold. So these have been in the fridge for a bit. They've not been in the fridge for too long because I've realised if I get them to proper fridge temperature, they just don't have any flavour. None of them seem to have any flavour. And I think the second half, I had them a little bit warmer, which is why I think I was getting some more flavour from some of the ones in the second half. So from now on, I'm going to have them, excuse me, I'm going to have them not quite as cold as I have been doing previously. So they've been in the fridge a bit. They are cool. They're not ice cold by any means. So there you go. So Galahad, Cold Beer Lager. Which one's going to be in the semi-finals against the Crown? We'll find out when they're poured in a minute. Okay, beers poured. First of all, before I go any further, for those of you watching at home, this is which one is which. Okay, that was which one was which. Let's have a look at them. So look at these beers. That one doesn't have as many bubbles rising to the top as that one does. They both had a bit of a head when they were poured, but now it's gone down to a tiny little head on both glasses. Colour-wise, they're both a similar colour, just like a pale straw colour with a bit of amber in it. Nothing new there. Let's start talking about the nose. So here we go. Nose on this one. So this is sort of grassy with a bit of lemon, teeny bit of malt in the background. Smells interesting. Smells fragrant, smells a little bit floral, smells very sweet. Smells a bit crafty, smells alright now. Okay, let's try this one. Let's give this one a smell. So I can get a bit of fizziness when I spin it. A little bit more malty this, but not much else. There's a bit of, I don't know really, bit of a cheap smell. Bit of syrup in the smell. Bit of syrup, a teeny bit of malt, but not much. Smells lagery, almost bordering on bitter. Smell. Okay, let's go in for the old taste. Cheers. Very crisp, grassy, lemony. Oh, lovely aftertaste. Lovely buttery aftertaste there. Very light in flavour, but the flavour is there. It's got a nice little nice little buttery shortbread biscuit kind of aftertaste. Fresh and clean on the entrance. There's a little bit of something like almost like an ice lolly, something like an ice, an ice lollipop in the taste. I'm trying to think which one it is. There is actually a particular ice lolly, which it reminds me of. I don't know what, but almost like we get them orange ones. Those orange, like where they made a pure orange juice. Almost like a lemon one of them. Weird. Okay, that's interesting. Gotta say, it is an interesting taste. Yeah, I mean it's quite lagery, almost bordering on almost a couple of pale ale kind of flavours there. Interesting. Let's have a swirl. Right, I'm going to go on this one now. Cheers. Alright, there's a bit of flavour. If you really hold it in there, you get a little bit of malt on the flavour there. It's quite low bitterness, but there's not much flavour. I mean, I know immediately which of these are. That's definitely the cold beer. That's definitely the Galahad. That said, I don't know if something's happened to Galahad. I'm sure Galahad used to be better than this. I remember the Galahad used to be very similar to the Excelsior in quality-wise, but compared to what I thought the Excelsior was like when the Excelsior was up against the cold beer, it was such a close competition. This is not a close competition, really. Bit of flavour in there if you search for it, but really, it's not. There's not much. It's fairly smooth. It's not too gassy. It's refreshing. I imagine it was really cold, so the rest of this can is going to stay in the fridge now for a while to get nice and cold. I imagine it'll be very refreshing. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just not a lot of flavour. Even at a slightly warmer temperature, when I thought I would get a bit more flavour from it, there isn't much there. There's not much in the way of an aftertaste. It's okay. The kind of price point it's at, about $2.75 for 4 cans. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's not particularly dear at all. I'd still rather have it over a can of Carling, Carlsberg or Foster's. And it's way cheaper, but no. And I don't think that's as good as it used to be. It used to be better than that. There's not a lot of flavour there at all. Let's go on this one again. There's something kind of lemonade-y in this. Which I'm not really liking. And almost like a taste of like a molten ice cube. Bit weird. Almost like if this was frozen. Almost like if you got a beer, like a crafty lager, and you froze the can by accident. You pour it out with loads of ice in it, and then you left it for the ice to melt, and it would have a slightly different taste. This is almost tastes like that. Yeah, it's by no means unbeatable, this. There is a little something in there that, to me, is not quite right. I don't know what it is. It's that kind of lollipop flavour I was talking about. But it has got flavour. It's interesting. You know, it's not bad. I would have some of these in the garden. It's, you know, it's certainly trying to do something different. It's certainly trying to do something different with the cold beer lager than just your standard lager. And considering the price they're selling it for, I think you can get 10 cans for £7 on club card price, which is decent. If you just want a fridge filler for the summer that you're going to have ice cold in the garden, that's not going to, that you can drink loads of and not get too drunk, then, you know, this is great. 3.4%, I am a big fan of this. You know, if you really try and savour it, there is a little something in the flavour that I can't quite get my head around. But it does have that lovely aftertaste, lovely shortbread biscuit aftertaste. That's the main thing that's carrying this through. It's got flavour and it's got a lovely aftertaste. It's going to be a hard one to beat this, but it's not going to be unbeatable. I don't see this not getting to the final, but we'll see. And that's all there is to it. I suppose I best do the reveal, so I'll come back in a minute when I've found out whether I am right, but I think I am. But anyway, let's do the cut. So yeah, I am right. So Galahad. Cold beer. I'll do the old straight from the can thing again, but yeah. Brewdog cold beer lager. It's tasty, it's interesting, it's got a nice aftertaste, it's only 3.4%. I think they've done a really good job with that. Yeah, it's almost flavourless. It used to be better than this. It used to be better than this. It's 4% as well, that. 4%. It definitely used to be better than this. When I reviewed this, I talked quite highly of it. I'm refusing to believe this is the same beer that I was drinking then. Something has changed since I did that Galahad. That's all I'll say. It's not awful. It's just there's not much flavour at all. And I remember there used to be more flavour than this. The cold beer, there is flavour. Banging aftertaste. It's through to the semi-final, where it'll take on the crown. lager. Be interesting. The Crown Lager is a lot better than this, got to say. Just putting it out there. Anyway, that's it. Done. Yeah, a bit of a slam dunk for the cold beer, really. It wasn't even a competition, this. That's got flavour, that hasn't. That's got a nice aftertaste, that hasn't. That's it. Till next time, have a good one.